back to the day. You want to share it?
I don't have to share it. It's automatic.
You always say that every time I ask you that.
I know. You interrupting my thought process.
Really?
Yeah, mine say live already. And it says I'm married to Zorano.
Really?
Well, so
All right. I guess. Let me share it to the. You guys gonna share it too?
huh?
Oh.
I'm just trying to figure out why you being greedy with all the screen. I want to see.
I'm about to say they can still see us.
Yeah, I want to see the.
Okay,
Look,
let me just make it bigger.
Look,
then.
dang it!
Oh my god.
Don't make. Now I can't see me at all. I want to see my beautiful face.
Push gonna show you're not gonna be able to work.
We about to have marriage problems on a dang on show. You know, I'll show y'all how this work out. I'm gonna reach over there, grab her by her head, kiss her on her throat, and we're gonna hang up. Well, out. We hang on the phone.
That sounds kind of rough.
Yes, baby, that's how we do it.
No.
Let's tell them about the how you like it rough, and I have to get all kind of guns and shoot at you and stuff. We role play with real bullets. Just playing, people. We play hide and go seek with guns.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Yeah, just joking.
I hope so. All right, anyway. Okay, top of the hour. What are some things that are top of the hour? Top of the hour things.
I want to say this. I made this post earlier.
There's a camera, though.
What?
So you're looking at that, but the camera's here.
Yeah, but I don't want to look down.
But people don't know that you're looking at them, though.
Hey, camera, I am looking at. No, I'm just playing. Listen, I want to say this. I made this post earlier today, and I just want y'all to know something. My wife made a good point. We all these planes that's crashing and stuff, something going on somewhere.
That's what you start off with, the planes?
Yeah. Okay. Because every day is like almost an accident or a plane doing this and a plane doing that. But what my wife said, and I agree with, is no more accidents and incidents. First of all, accident and incident is two different stories, people. Let's get that situated. Than it has been any other time. For whatever reason, they're throwing it out there to distract us for whatever it is, try to make it look like it's Trump fault or whoever fault or whatever, or to cover up something. There is no more incidents and accidents than it is every year. They're just covering it more. Don't believe me? Do your research. I did a little bit of it, but that's what's going on with that.
He's not just using Jermaine's statistics this time. He looked them up.
Yeah, some of them. So some of that is I'm like, that's crazy because when have we ever seen these many plain things be reported on? So don't get bamboozled, people. There's some other stuff going on.
Okay. All right. Other top of the hour. We watch anything interesting this week? We did watch another movie. It said it's Spy Rock True Story, but I never got what the real names are supposed to be.
Which one? We watched
the lady who was buried by her husband.
Oh yeah.
Remember he buried her?
Buried Alive was the name of it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it gave us the name of the people. Like, it wasn't like the something story.
Oh yeah, no. It just said Buried Alive.
It's based on true.
And we went to see Monkey. The
Monkey movie.
That was
Stephen King's Monkey. That was good.
Yeah.
Maybe did a good job with that one. Then there was something we saw my niece. We saw that documentary. I guess it's supposed to be a documentary. We paid for it too on Prime.
Who are you talking Lakewood?
Yes. We paid for the documentary on Prime because we were like, okay.
The worst.
It's gonna be good if you have to pay for it.
I don't do strip clubs, but I rather went to a strip club and threw my $3.99 at a strip.
It was.
It's
not very good
at all.
Yeah, at all.
Also, I would like for you to say what you said. Diddy's lawyer, if y'all don't know.
Oh, I was going to talk about this.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But he's dropped off the case, and he said under no circumstances
can he continue on with the case.
And
I don't think that's as big of a deal as people make it sound like, though.
But why would he say under no circumstances?
Because there's a lot of reasons. It could be because they have two different strategies, and Diddy don't want to listen. Like, I don't know. I don't keep up with Diddy like that, but it seems like he may be the type of person that don't listen to people very well. And so he's probably really difficult for
You
attorneys
know
to
what?
work with.
And that I didn't even think about that. That could be it because he's been like that his whole life
Yeah.
since he's became Diddy, right? So maybe he telling them which way to go instead of listening to them
And, yeah.
which way to go. And he can you can't run your legal team. I mean you can, but you shouldn't try. He shouldn't try to run his legal team like he do his businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're paying them, and yes, they're going to do what you want to do. But some people, like you're one of them. From, what I know of you, that has integrity. So, that could be why he did it though.
Yeah. So it could be something like that, or again, sometimes it's difficult to communicate with a client. It could be that he keeps telling them not to do certain things and he doing it, or something. You never know. Um, so it could be a host of things. Doesn't necessarily mean that they uncovered something in the case that means that he can't represent him. Because let's be real, I don't know too many honest. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I don't know too many attorneys that would turn down some money because they really feel like the person is wrong for what they did. Like, you got attorneys representing murderers that they know killed the person, rapists, people that killed kids, and everything else, and they will represent them. I mean, look at the old girl. Who was the girl who had the baby that she killed, and then she went partying? And what was her name? Kate, whatever.
Casey Anthony.
Casey Anthony. I mean, look how her attorneys did. They represented her. Now you know that girl did that, and they still represented her. And they represented her well too. So for me to say that it's because his attorney all of a sudden developed some type of conscience, I don't really think that's the case. Then it was another thing. Something else happened with his case. Oh, about them trying to
Suppress the
suppress
evidence.
evidence. And then I don't know why that's such a big newsworthy thing. I mean, attorneys file those type of things all the time. They have to, because you are basically trying to file every pretrial motion that you possibly can. For one, to see what sticks, and number two, because you want to avoid someone coming back later saying, "Hey, my attorney was ineffective." And then it also give you like appeal. Got rights to appeal now, right? Because say you file a motion and the judge denies it, then now you got something that you can automatically bring up on appeal and say, "Hey, he denied this motion and we asked him to suppress this evidence and he should have suppressed it." So you're giving yourself avenues to work with, because you may run across some lucky judge. I mean, some judge that's had a bad day or whatever and said, "Hey, yeah, you know what? We're going to suppress that evidence."
Yeah, I had baby oil in my house.
What?
I had baby oil in my house. I only had 990 bottles. So I know 1,000 is not that much. That's what the judge can say.
Yeah. You could. So anyway.
When she talks about the legal stuff, it just. Ooh.
Those are top of the hours. All right. So back to this hot topics with regards to hot button relationship issues.
Hot button relationship?
Hot button relationship
issues.
I'm
about to say, what are you talking about?
Hot topics. Okay. Relationship issues. Okay. So we talked about some of them last week. I think we left off on talking about the impact of social media on relationships. One of the other ones that was on this list that wasn't surprising, but again, kind of surprising because you would think that it's not old news, but that people understood it now. But it's the whole understanding different love languages. And I just I don't know why it's so hard for people to get that. I mean, I think I have an inkling, but then I'm not sure, because I feel like if someone's love language is acts of service, right? That's how they receive love. But someone else's love language, as far as giving, would be like how they express love. If their love language is something like giving gifts, I can see where there would be kind of a conflict with that, because that person has to continually be intentional about engaging in acts of service to show love, but then they're not feeling like they're showing love because that's not what they're used to doing to show love, if that makes sense. So I think there may have to be some compromise with that.
It definitely have to be compromised. I don't know how. Well, I'll say this. I didn't know about love languages until I met that person over there that I married. But what I will say is this: what I learned um, is knowing someone's love language and understanding what love language and understanding what that love language is and what it entails and understanding love languages in general. What it does is once you understand it, you should realize or start realizing that you can't love that person how you want to be loved or because the way you show love, they may not need you to show it in that manner. Um, so if you're doing that, then you're not really satisfying your partner or having your partner, keeping your partner happy or whatever you want to say. It becomes a disconnect arises because you're trying to connect in a way that you can't connect with them because it's not their love language. So like for instance, she's the type of person that words of affirmation and I think she's a little bit I think more a lot of physical touch too, that type of stuff. Maybe I know it's more words of affirmation, but I like to buy stuff like every man does. Like I'll buy her this and buy her that, and again, I've said this before. She'd rather us go walking on a mountain or go jogging, just me, spending that time with her and telling her how much I love her and I'll never leave her and all of that stuff. And sometimes I would think that I wonder if men, because men don't know how, not all men, but a lot of men don't know how to connect with the emotional side. So if someone love language is words of affirmation, and they're not emotionally or not able to connect with themselves emotionally. They ain't gonna be able to connect with that person emotionally.
Right.
So then they're gonna get frustrated. Again, the disconnect begins. I'll use my cousin for instance. Again, he bought his wife everything, paid for her to go through school and all of this, that, and third, blah blah blah, and he had the hardest time understanding that he wasn't listening to her and all the other things that come with that. He thought because he was doing all of those things and going to work, working two jobs, paying for the kid, everything, just everything that it was fine, but he wasn't in tune with her love language, whatever it was.
Right. So I think that's important. I think though, when I say compromise too, I guess it's not really a compromise as opposed to a balance. Like I think that both partners need to understand both how a partner likes to receive love and how they like to express love. And I think they need to balance that. So that there's I don't know, needs or satisfaction being met both ways. So for example, because you like to buy stuff, I think it needs to be balanced with me understanding that if you're buying something, you're showing love.
That's the way I
that you're also showing love, and then you understanding that that's not the only way that you should be showing love to me.
Yeah, because
that makes sense.
Because I have to meet your need, and I have to meet you at where your need is at for that love as well.
Right.
So again, it goes back to understanding one another's love language.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
no. So I don't know what you're doing. He's always doing something.
What better way to give you a gift than here, baby? Go ahead, continue on.
Okay. The next one was the role of trust. So, of course, the role of trust in relationships.
The who?
Role of trust. And I just think that these days, there's not as many people willing to fully trust their partner.
Yeah.
I like my hiking. I got hiking boots.
Yeah, we're gonna go hiking soon.
We're going hiking. Hiking boots.
Yep. Anyway,
Thank
I
you.
love you, baby. No, but so you trying to say you mean starting off?
Just period, like the role of trust. Like people have, they have a lot of issues. It says maintaining trust in a relationship while also respecting personal boundaries. So, and it could, a lot of that is probably residual effects from previous relationships or childhoods. Hey, Matt, how are you?
What's going on, bro?
And everything else. So I think a lot of that's residual. But what I have found, I actually have people say to me, like, trust isn't given, it's earned. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not just going to give you trust, you got to earn it. I don't know if that's quite the way it's supposed to go, but I feel like because of everything that's happened, like, just with the times and everything, that I can understand why people are saying that and why they feel that way. At the same time, one begs the question, should you be in a relationship with a person you can't trust? Or should you even marry them? But I know people are doing it left and right all the time.
Well, I'll say this. I automatically, like, I agree with you. I can't be with somebody that I can't trust.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told you, like, one of the things that I look for in a mate, or was looking for in a mate, and with all the crazy stuff that I was doing, um, I had to believe that, because you're never supposed to say your partner, or what they say, you're never supposed to say your partner, your wife or your husband is not, you know for a fact they won't cheat,
Right.
because, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have, in order for me to marry you,
Mm-hmm.
I had to know in my heart and believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So I am giving you all of my trust from the beginning, because of, the characteristics and who you showed me you was,
Mm-hmm.
or were at the time. So I would give someone all of my trust, even in a friend situation.
Right.
Right now, how I, you and I, this.
That's true, man.
Well,
Just don't know.
that's that. How I work is a little bit different. I will give somebody my trust, and once you lose it,
Mm-hmm.
then at that point, I'm not gonna say I won't deal with you,
Mm-hmm.
but the way I deal with you will be how I want to deal with you, because I already know you're a messed up individual.
Right.
So, you say you just cut people all the way off, which is
Yeah,
cool.
I can't do. I
So
can't do that. What they say, long handle spoon thing. I just
yeah,
don't like that.
that
I just rather not be
that's
around you.
that's how I do it. Now we're talking about, like, back to the relationship, like, intimate relationship type of thing. I've told you, if you ever cheat on me, I I'll forgive you. Like, God wants us to forgive, but I'm gonna forgive you from a whole other side of the city, and vice versa. Like, I don't want her to. And it's easier said than done. Da, da, da. If I was to cheat on her, I would want her to forgive me, but I would hope that she wouldn't take me back, because it's, once that bond is broken of that trust,
Mm-hmm.
you it's gonna, I ain't gonna say you can never get it back, but I just don't see how it'll ever be back the same.
Yeah, I think though when people talk about trust though, because they'll say something like you shouldn't do that if you trust your spouse or your partner. But I think that, this is another one where I feel like I'm a little conflicted, but kind of not conflicted because I think it's just a balance, and I think there's a different way of looking at things. Like you can trust someone, but if you are, especially if you're Christian, right? If you're Christian and you believe in the word, and it says like the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing, then I can see where some people will put boundaries. I don't know if it's really called boundaries on that trust, but how they would say that they don't want their partner engaging in certain circumstances because of the impact that they may have, if that makes sense, right? So like I can understand when I can't remember who that lady was who was like she wouldn't allow her friend to sleep over in her house when she's not there and her husband is there, and I understand that, like I get that because that's just naturally, it's almost like why would you even test that situation out? And I don't think that's saying that you don't trust a person. I think it's recognizing that people are human and that people do things that they regret later on and they get themselves into situations and that we don't always follow the guidance of God and everything else. So I think that that's just like, you know, something that you have to consider. Like I think it would be silly for a person to be like, "Oh, I'm okay with my homeboy always chilling at my house day and night with my wife, even though I'm not there." Like, I get that you're okay with it, but should they be? Should they be doing it?
I mean,
Like, is that something that should be happening?
we've had this conversation 1,000 times, and I understand it. I really do. How I feel about it is, while you're saying that, right, I agree. You shouldn't put yourself in those situations. The way I look at that is, what situation am I really putting myself in? Because in order for something to happen, right, between a homeboy and someone's wife or a homegirl or whatever it is that that person had to had some secret underlying feelings anyway for your spouse or your person, because you just don't be over the house all of a sudden and then be looking like, ooh.
Well, that's not true,
That's
because you
cheap.
said that intimacy can develop from two people just being together, constantly together all the time,
Well,
right?
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So now, we're talking now. If you're talking about being over my house every day while I'm not there, type of thing, then yeah, no, okay, hell no. Why do you even want to be around my
Right.
woman that much? Like, you know what I mean? But like, if you was to come in town, or somebody was to come in town, if somebody was to come in town and I'm at work, and I'm like, yeah, my wife at home, go over there, right? If it's something like that, then I'm trusting both of you all at that point, right? So to your point though, again, I've heard people like, yeah, no, you got to wait till I get home,
Right.
right? So I understand it from both ways. Me, how I am as a person, I can never say that I've looked at any of my friends' woman and like, damn, she bad, or oh, she pretty, or oh, she da da da. Because it's just a no go. Even their exes.
Do you have to necessarily be doing that for that to cause a situation? For example, if you just like before, if you at your homie's friend and his wife starts boo-hooing to you about what he's supposedly not doing with her, blah blah, and maybe you just give some good advice and you just think that's all you're doing, and then all of a sudden she try to kiss you or something. Now it's a whole awkward situation because you there talking to somebody intimately, thinking you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, and they done felt all kind of different way about it, or because of that, something in sparked to them like, because people do that when they hurt. Like if people are hurting or they feel like they've been neglected by their spouse, they looking for attention, they looking for it, and I don't say they're intentionally trying to do anything wrong, but they're looking for
and
that.
some people are.
And some people are, but I'm just saying, what about them situations where that happens?
Yeah, so
you gotta keep yourself out of the situation.
when you put it in that type of text and tone, then yeah, because again, one's intention may not be the other intention. So the situation that you're saying that has arisen is that one person is feeling neglected, and they try to do whatever, and then now if you're a real homie, you're gonna tell your homie, and now that's gonna cause problems, because what if she says, no, I didn't do that,
or even
he
you
did
don't,
that,
like you're gonna just be feeling awkward as heck being around them anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, like, oh, okay. And then your homie, why you don't ever want to be around?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. I get from that standpoint. I do get it.
Right.
So that's one of them situations. I guess I would have to broaden my mindset.
Yeah.
Because when I say that, like you and Trey had, like, I've said, I don't care if Trey come over here when this, that, and the third. I don't feel as though you attracted to him, he's attracted to you, or anything. Like, so like,
yeah.
And then I also know that I'm not, that person that's out here dogging you out.
Right.
He got dirt on me and and stuff like that too. But I mean, I understand.
Yeah. I think another part of the trust thing, though, even if you're going deeper than just potential cheating and stuff, is trusting partners to be able to hold it down, trusting partners to be able to protect you, trusting partners to be able to speak on your behalf. I mean, that's another area of trust that people have difficulty with also. And then you may get to the point where it's like, you don't ever trust me to make decisions, or you don't ever trust me to do this and that, or you don't trust the advice that I give you. So those can cause friction in relationship.
No, yeah, I get that. I agree with that. I was sitting here thinking like, but if somebody don't trust the advice that you give, or the direction of where your advice or your actions will take them, then y'all out of alignment somewhere anywhere. In some way, in y'all out of alignment somewhere, some kind of way, anyways.
Yeah,
right?
but it happens though, because it could be just that, you've seen movies and stuff where the wife or the husband took all the money out the account and went and invested in some deal that they thought was going to, and it fell through, and now all they, or what was we watching where the lady went and put her house up, like she put her house up for the bond, for the bail, and she put her house up, didn't tell the husband, and then the lady skipped town, and so now their whole house is gone. Like that type of stuff will make you say to your spouse, like, I don't trust you. Like, I don't trust you in your decision making. I don't trust you in how you spend money. I don't trust you in.
Well, he shouldn't have trusted her in that situation because you left a part out. They discussed it.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm just saying, but sometimes that just happens when people don't even discuss, they just do it. And I'm just saying there are situations where spouses have conflict or partners have conflict because of that lack of trust, even in that respect. Like, you got somebody who's like, I don't trust her to put gas in the car because she's gonna mess something up when she do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't trust your driver.
So that's another, conflict area. Another hot topic that they talked about was the exploring non-traditional relationship structures like open relationships. It seems really weird to be talking about relationships in the context of open relationships, because at that point I just don't think you really have, well, I guess you have some type of relationship. It's not the relationship I would really call a relationship, but so you still have couples struggling with that. Like matter of fact, I saw someone ask on Facebook today, they were like, what is an ethical non-monogamous relationship? An ethical non-monogamous relationship. But the only thing I can guess that would pertain to is the couple coming together and setting boundaries about how they're going to do this open relationship thing, and both parties actually sticking to those boundaries.
Yeah,
so they consider that ethical?
I'm gonna have to listen to you on that, because I'm just gonna sit here and listen, because the only thing I'm gonna say about that is, I don't know too much about open relationship, other than what I've heard and seen on TV. It's something that I personally couldn't never be in. Mm-hmm. Even in my worst days, I could be a part of an open relationship, meaning that the other couple has an open relationship and I'm dealing with the woman.
Right.
But as far as me being in an open relationship, I can go out here and sleep with whoever I want to sleep with. Mm-hmm. If you want to be in an open relationship, but you ain't about to do that.
Right.
You're not about to do that. I don't understand how that works, but from what I've heard, that they do have boundaries, and one of them, which is weird. It could be something like, we don't ask questions about, what happened when I was with blah blah blah, and also, certain sexual acts you may not, quote unquote, say that you're not allowed to do, but how the hell are they gonna know?
Yeah, and so I think the difficulty in that, and the reason why it's probably a hot topic, is probably because people shouldn't be doing it. Number one. Number two is that people engage in it thinking that they can handle it, then find out that they can't handle it. And number three, someone always breaks the boundaries or the rules that are set, right, for the relationship. I saw something on, I don't know if it was ID Channel 1 or Crime Shows, a true story though, and it was Iowa. I believe people from Iowa. But anyway, they had this open relationship. It was two women and a guy. And I guess what they came up with was that they would only have sex when it was all three of them together. Well, apparently the two women started liking each other and started dealing with each other without the dude, and he was really upset about that. So he ended up killing one of them. Like, so it ended in murder because the person was that upset that they had went outside of that agreement that they had. So I just think that the exploration of the non-traditional relationship thing, I can understand why that's a hot topic. I don't know why people still venture into it. Everything that I've seen with regards to that, even with the sister wives and looking at documentaries and reading different studies, someone always has some type of feeling about jealousy, and that he's spending more time with this person and she's spending more time with this person, and they did what they weren't supposed to do. And so it's just a big headache, it seems like.
Yeah, I especially, first of all, when you're dealing with more than one woman anyway, it's enough dealing with one woman. But when you go out here and you try to appease 2 and 3 and 4 plus different women, then that's gonna be hard to do anyway. Because prime example, with me having multiple kids, mothers, you know, at every particular day of the week, month, year, I got to deal with four different personalities. Sometimes, you know, one may be calm this day, and the other one is mean as hell, and then the other one is mean as hell, and the other one is calm, or all of them mean, or
Well, one may have 10 different personalities.
yeah, but
That's never known.
yeah. So you know, so like you know, so with that being said, that just shows that every woman is gonna, and men too, but you know, mostly women are gonna have different types of emotions and feelings and things going on, and you know, it's just gonna be hard to juggle.
Yeah.
So I can't. I know I've seen a couple of. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. I've seen a couple on the internet where like a woman has multiple boyfriends and husbands. I don't
Yeah,
even know how
something
that.
weird.
I don't even know how that
I be
begins
trying
to
not
work. Like I you know,
look at that stuff anymore. That's just
yeah, I don't. Two men and a woman. I be damned if I be walking around talking about, hey, this our girlfriend. What? Man, no. What the hell? This our wife. Like, no. Like, no. That ain't gonna work.
The other hot topic was balancing personal growth with partnership needs. And I think this is a big one because a lot of times you'll hear people say that they grew apart, they outgrew each other. And it is important for people to grow. Everyone should be on a journey of personal growth, I believe. I think that's what this journey, I don't even talk about this journey to life, journey to eternal life is all about, it's about personal growth. So I think that in relationship and marriages, we should want to see personal growth, but I understand the need with balancing that with relationship needs because sometimes partners feel what I like to call goal displacement. Now they used to use goal displacement in sociological theory, but it really essentially meant like when an organization would form for a certain purpose, and then all of a sudden that purpose has been eradicated or is no longer needed, and now they don't know what they're supposed to do. They don't feel like where they fit in, right? And I think that happens in relationships too. Uh, you're meeting people at certain points in your life. You're finding ways to fit together while you're in that point of life. But then as you grow, you may have to explore ways in which you fit again together, right? Because you're changing. And what happens, I think, is some people will grow and then the other partner may feel like, well, I don't know, this is what I'm used to being able to provide for you, what I thought you needed, and now I'm not providing that for you. So it's important for people to learn each other, to continue to learn each other, to continue to try to grow together, support each other's growth, and learn like the ways in which they've changed, and try to really kind of understand it.
It goes back to what you said about I think last week before last, when we talked about respecting boundaries, right? Because I've told you this. I've married one person, and now within these 4 years, I've messed around and fell in love with three other people all in one. Like, because she's changed. I've changed a little bit, but nowhere close to her. But it's understanding what you just said about that people grow. People will grow personally and hopefully your relationship as well. But I think if you allow that person to grow at whatever rate it is that they're growing, and to me it's interesting because and I'll say this, and I don't mean it disrespectful. I hope I'm not saying it wrong, but from you going from one person to another, the first change was, when I first met you, and then you started becoming yourself, like your regular self. Like you even talked to Isis about, it's like, you don't think I know where to fit in at. And I kind of did, because I was used to, you being a certain way, and then me doing certain things to make you smile. And then as you came out of that and went into whoever you were at that time, it was like, okay, well, that ain't working no more. So it's like, whatever. But then as we kept on going, I guess it didn't frustrate me, bad enough to make me leave you, obviously. It becomes fun because then you really can't get bored, because like, if I want to cheat, then I'm just really cheating with you.
Oh,
on
different
you.
me. Yeah, with me.
Yeah, with you with one of the other people. So hey, don't you go back and be the first
With the other
first
version
around?
of
I mean,
you.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, but all honesty, it's like it's still learning some like learning someone new and dating someone new all over again.
Right.
So like,
He doesn't mean it like I have multiple personality. Y'all. I don't have
yeah,
multiple
she ain't got
I don't
multiple
have
personalities.
borderline personality
So,
disorder or
yeah,
nothing
well,
like that. Dissociative, what they call it.
we ain't
Cognitive dissociation.
we ain't went to the doctor to confirm that yet. But no, yeah. So like when people grow, then you just it is, you know, who said that? Tori said it. I think Tori said it. It's like that you're dying. That other person that died, that other person just died basically. You know what I mean? You're grown into a new, better, improved version of yourself.
Right, and I think you definitely find this issue a lot with people that are, for example, coming out of domestic abuse situations and going with, being with someone else. People who are recovering addicts, whether it's alcoholic, drug, different things like that. There's a really good movie about that. It's really old, but Alec Baldwin and Melanie Griffith, I believe it was, but that's a very good movie about that. That's exactly what happened with their marriage. She was an alcoholic, and I think that's how he had known her for most of the marriage was as an alcoholic, and him taking care of her. And once she started the recovery process, and she no longer needed him to take care of her, it caused all type of conflict in their marriage. And because I feel like he just didn't know where he fit in or how he was, of relevance to her anymore, basically.
So that's another question. So you think women grow, women's personal growth is more rapid than a man's?
I think so. I think so. I mean, I know that the studies say that women mature, right, at a faster rate, but I think that this also continues well into adulthood. Like, I think women, when they go on a journey of change, the change does happen more rapidly than it do with men. And I haven't looked that up, but I'll go look it up for the next time and come back and tell y'all. But in my opinion, I think that they do. I think that they grow at a much faster pace than men do as far as personal growth and journeys and you know.
And that's probably because of a lot of things that we have put y'all through as well too.
Yeah.
I would think a man that's been scarred, especially by love emotionally, I would think his growth may be a little bit more rapid as well.
Mhm.
Because when you're coming from a place of hurt, you have to really begin to learn yourself and learn how to trust again, learn how to trust yourself in trying to believe in love and finding someone and all of that. So,
Right.
You meet somebody that spark your interest and you already started down that path,
Mhm.
and it's someone that seems genuine. I would see how he at that point could grow in a more rapid standpoint versus somebody like me that it's gonna it takes a while.
It doesn't take a while. You just so I don't know why you so hard on yourself. But anyway, the last topic. This is a very interesting one. Is physical performance issues. This is causing a huge issue in relationships. It says that surveys show that 1 in 4 men are racked by feelings of inadequacy during sex. The reason they claim mainstream media has given women a false sense of what to expect behind bedroom doors. For their part, women are equally self conscious. In fact, 1 in 10 women never feel confident about their body or abilities during sex.
Wait a minute. How in the hell did that turn to a woman?
Well, it talks about both of them. So 1 in 4 men feel inadequate during sex, and 1 out of 10 women that don't feel confident about their body, and they feel they feel inadequate about their abilities with regards to sex.
So let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you all. A while ago, when I was younger, right, a lot of men will go through the thing of, everybody, we as men, the ego thing. Everybody, if you don't have a big shalong, you always want to be bigger, right? Everybody want to last like porn stars, right? Um, I would, you know, I would arrive to the destination a lot earlier than, maybe I thought I should, or a woman would like, or whatever the case would be. And it became frustrating. So I looked up ways how not to do that, da 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 da. And in me trying to do that research, it was the worst. The worst. Well, actually, it was the best and the worst thing could have happened. I found out that I came across an article that basically said our bodies uh, made differently. So I forgot what it was. It was a while ago. On the average, it takes the average woman 20 to 25, 15 to 25 minutes to orgasm.
Mhm.
It takes the average man anywhere from two, and they gave the percentages, right? From 2 to 3 minutes to ejaculate.
Mhm.
uh, and the higher percentage of men that last, I remember this specifically because I wanted to be in the higher percentage, that last over 5 minutes, it was like 3% of men. So when I saw that survey, that helped me out, helped my ego out a lot, because if I got to the destination before any woman that I was with and she was mad, but hey man, that's how God made us. So I'm saying that to say it still bothers us. I don't know how that would bother a woman. I have no earthly idea why a woman would look at her body in some type of negative form because a man got to the destination before she did or not performing.
No, I think it's the opposite. I don't think it's the opposite. I think that women are looking at, so men on one hand are saying they're not confident with their performance, and then women on the other hand are also saying they're not comfortable with their performance. So as a woman, I'm not comfortable with my performance. It ain't got nothing to do with when you.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. It's just like I'm not confident in my sexual abilities. I don't know. I think like I don't know what in the media would give us a false sense of what to expect behind doors, unless a lot of women are watching porn. But
well, yeah, I was gonna
even porn stars don't last like porn stars in reality.
Well, I can say let me say this. Let me try to hit it from both angles. When you, which I've never really been a big porn watcher, so when you're watching porn and then I've read articles on this and seen people talk about this, and the men are lasting like that or whatever. Sometimes those are several takes.
Yeah, they are.
There are several takes, right? Sometimes these dudes be high on something, right? So therefore, like I don't see how I guess it's like a superhero to men though. Like if you see a man and he's just doing this and you change positions and you're not ejaculating and da 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 da, like it's like what's the secret key to that? And I would think that that's why men would start feeling a little bit inadequate.
I think men are causing themselves to feel inadequate.
No, that's not true.
No, this is what I mean. They are saying that women have a false sense of what's supposed to happen behind the bedroom door. In what type of sense do they mean that they mean? Because if they're talking about women thinking that you're supposed to give foreplay and you're supposed to show them intimacy before you even have the actual sexual intercourse.
From a woman's standpoint,
that's what women are wanting. I don't think that's a false sense of anything. I think that's what people should be doing, as opposed to just trying to jump in and get to it. And you have a lot of men that's what they will do. Like they just jump in, they get to it. They like. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think you will find the majority of women that have an issue with how long a man lasts if that man is also showing her intimacy and everything else during the time that they're engaged in the act.
So Okay, I'm sorry.
We want 2 hours. No, I don't know what one was 2 hours. No, that's too long.
But here's the thing, though, right? I'll tell you the other thing about that. It's when they say social media affects it,
Mhm.
it's because what you're saying that should happen, and the men not jump in and this, that, and the third, and then they're arriving soon and all of this, it becomes a problem because the foreplay is not there, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of times the guys that's jumping right in, they're not really there to do nothing but have sex because I don't love you. Like me back in my day, it's like, why am I giving somebody foreplay? I just want to, do what I'm anatomically going to do in my 2 to 3 minutes
That's
and be
not
out of
true,
there.
because there's a lot of
So-
women who are married that are having that issue though.
But that's
They're
because
saying
of
that
but-
their
but-
spouse
but-
isn't. He's not emotionally attached to him. He's not
I bet
showing
he-
any type of intimacy.
I bet the first time they did it, he was.
Okay, but what does that have to do with anything?
Because the reason that happened is because it was like, we just met. Ooh, this is so lovely and so great, and ooh, I've been wanting da 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 da. Especially if you're building a relationship with
No,
someone.
but I get that. But you were saying like the most men that do that are men who don't want to.
Yeah.
But,
So
but I'm
after-
saying like after you're married, you should still want to do that. That's
Yeah, but
the
that
issue.
that
Men
becomes
don't
comfortable.
wanna
You become
do it.
comfortable. So that's 100% wrong with the men because this is like I said last week. We as guys have to realize our vagina is new vagina to another man,
Mhm.
right? So we get comfortable, and I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes with you. But we just get comfortable, and so yeah, we had sex with you 1,000 times, and like, man, if I do all that, I got this, you got that, let's do it. So that's how we think, unfortunately.
Right.
Where you guys women long for the emotional connection more than the sex itself sometimes.
Mhm.
So that's our downfall because of the comfortability level.
Man, I don't think that's true. I don't think they want. I think that I just don't think women. It would matter to women. Now, of course, I'm not saying like no woman don't ever want to reach an orgasm or anything else, but I don't think many women have an issue with reaching that through other means if at least their man was showing them intimacy and everything else during the course of the session. That's all I'm saying. Like, if it's different from a guy just jumping in and boom, and then you just done. Like, I'm done, and roll over. Like, that's not right.
So what happens is this too, right? I think a lot of times, again, I've stated this a million times. If you're not emotionally connected to yourself, you're not going to be able to emotionally connect with your partner. So when we do that, it's like that emotional connection is gone, and a lot of times it'd be our ego too. Because I was until you. I ain't gonna lie about that. I was guilty of being, and it's I read the article. I was guilty of being the one that was embarrassed.
Mhm.
That's when you get all in, and I'm pretty sure you've heard that, before too, with whoever, however, whatever. A guy's like, oh, this normally don't happen. Oh,
Mhm.
it's been a while. Oh, you're too wet. Oh, we come up with all kind of excuses because
Right.
we know we got there and gone. Now we're done for.
Right.
Now we're done for. That's why we come up with those excuses. Our
Right.
egos are bruised.
Right.
So I do know this though, from doing studies and personal experimenting, with you, it could be sometimes you could get your woman so worked up. Matter of fact, I read this and I came home and did it to you, and it worked just like they said it was gonna
Oh
work.
my God.
Well, I mean, I have to experiment. You're my wife, so I was reading the article. You could do little things if you know your spouse spot, right? Whether if she like to be tapped on the butt, rubbed on the neck, you just do that a couple times throughout the day, and she's gonna start getting aroused and bothered, right? Your juices is gonna start to flow, and this, that, and the third throughout the whole day, or within 30 minutes. I think the article I read said within an hour time frame, just do little sexual things and don't make it seem sexual.
Right.
And you're gonna get your partner aroused, right? And then, when you get ready to do whatever, you start off kissing and just add minimum foreplay. They're already ready and already aroused. So once you get to it, she should arrive. And I promise you, when we had first moved to the other house, I came on the road and I was going down the road. Now I'm always on the phone, which I shouldn't be. And I was looking at that, right? And I seen that, I said, I'm gonna get home, we'll try that. And I be damn it, when I tried it, everything that they said worked. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So in essence, what I'm saying is, if I read an article from somebody that I don't know about how to satisfy a woman / my woman, and those steps that I read, everything happened that they said was going to happen. That means, what you're saying is true. Like the intimacy, the emotional connection, the foreplay, and all of that, it works.
Yeah.
It honestly works, because how the hell a stranger gonna tell me that don't know me, I ain't gonna never see, never hear voice or anything, how to make my wife arrive in 30 seconds.
Right, that's true.
So like it works.
Yeah.
So, but I also think too, right? Again, this is the fun part about being married. About being married. Those things become fun just to learn as well. Because I haven't done what I should have done, what I should do. But I've tried certain things that I've read, and like the old me, like, I'm reading this shit. How they gonna tell me what to do? This is embarrassing. Why am I reading this? I know how to blah blah blah. But it actually helps you learn your partner. What gets them, whatever the case may be. Right. So but yeah, I know the intimacy and the foreplay and all that works too.
Yeah. And I think what happens is that you don't want the your partner to feel. I think some of the women's inadequacy or feeling like they not capable in the bedroom also comes from how I think the men are reacting to them in bed. So like if you're not emotionally attached, you may not be showing her outwardly that whatever she's doing feels good to you or is making you feel a certain way. And I think some women feel that, and that's why they're having these questioning their sexual capabilities and everything else in the bed. But the thing that you don't want to do is to have your woman feeling like that, and then this is what happens too. You'll have your woman feeling like that, and you'll have some guy make her think that she's the sexiest woman in the world just by what he's saying to her, commenting to her. And then all of a sudden you got a whole other problem. Because he's not saying that she's gonna necessarily cheat, but she may start saying like, why am I with him? I could be with somebody that really appreciate me, who find me sexy, who find me this and that, and now you got a whole other problem again.
Well, I'll say this too. It's funny that you said that, right? Because I read something else, article wise, that said, how did they word it? If you, I don't want to tell. I don't want to say it because I do it and I don't want you to know what I'm doing now. So never mind. But if you say certain things, if you're having sex with your wife or your partner, and you actually talk to her, it says it gets you guys aroused even more. So to the point of not showing that, letting her know that it feels good to you or whatever it is. It said basically what you're saying, it'll make them maybe feel like they're not, enough or not doing, or it's not good to them, right, or whatever. Which again, that's you guys' mind or whatever. But the other part of the article also said this too: men and our egos don't allow us to quote unquote moan and stuff like that. Like what men don't moan. Like I've seen that growing up. Like right. What man moans? Nigga, me. Watch that now and feel good. Like right. That's like so. You and if you're moaning, it should anyway
It should.
turn your partner on.
Right. Yeah.
So, but
That's true.
anyway,
So those are the top topics. So
I want to hit on this. We got 5 minutes. I don't know how this is gonna work, but it's this book. Well, I didn't get to say it last week. What is the Venus and the Mars book or whatever it was? Men are from Venus and women from Mars or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just want to like talk about how it's so crazy how we do think, men and women think so different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes back to that anatomical stuff that I was talking about. Like well, how? That's why I want to know. How are we wired so different as a man and a woman that we see stuff so totally different,
right,
and differently, right? So I think if more people start understanding that, then some of the attitudes may decrease or cease a little bit, and you'll start trying to find a happier ground with your partner.
Yeah, because you have to understand in order to remediate. You have to understand where the gap is, right?
Yeah, right.
And know what the gap is in order to fix it.
So when you find like I can't just give you an example off the top of my head, but what is one thing that you noticed in your life that where men and women just think totally different?
Relationships. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's one. So okay.
Relationship.
So yeah. So how do you see men viewing relationships versus how women view them?
I think men feel like there's a totally different purpose for relationships than women do, to be honest. I think women truly see relationships as a companion, a lover, a provider, protector, all this type of stuff, and I don't think men see it like that.
Well, I think it's more of I agree with you that we do see it differently, but I think that when a woman falls in love, I think more women date to be married than men date to be married.
Right.
So from the beginning, women take relationships a little bit more serious than a man will. So that right there, understand, going back to the men from Venus and women from Mars or whatever it is thing, that right there is a divide. If people start understanding that women are dating you for the most part, not all women, but for the most part, upstanding, nice, good women are dating you because they're looking for a husband. They're looking for someone to build a family with. They're looking for somebody to be with forever. And men, for the most part, when we look at a woman, we get attracted to that woman because of her physical attributes.
Yeah.
And that's a big divide when it comes to the relationship.
That's true.
Because at that point, a woman can date an ugly man and be the happiest woman in the world. Like she literally could, an ugly dude could pull I think an ugly dude could pull a beautiful woman quicker than a good-looking dude would date an ugly woman.
Oh yeah, probably.
And
just by the way he's acting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the end of the day, we just view that aspect of a companion differently. Yeah. So if you in just that instance alone, if men start understanding understanding why women are dating and trying or dealing with you, then I think if you're a person of any character, then you may fall back from any kind of stupid stuff because you know that that's what that is, right?
Yeah, I think maybe we'll get that book and kind of explore it and go over it. So,
but anyway, that's all I got.
That was it for tonight. See you all next week. We still gonna put videos out. We getting there. So
yeah, right. We I want to kiss you. I gotta reach over there.
Hurry up.
can't,
You
man.
don't bring your crusty lips over here.
I gotta stand up. You know, my belly
Right,
already
I know,
big.
right? We gotta figure out some different.
Yeah, see,
stand
if
up-
I
stand
turn
up.
over,
Don't turn over.
mm,
All right. Bye bye.
Dang, man.